products are unregulated and could be highly volatile. Please be aware of the risks before investing.
राज, बाबूजी के आशीर्वाद से हमने अपनी नई शुरुआत तो कर ली, पर अपना फ्यूचर प्लान कैसे करें?
बड़े-बड़े शहरों में ऐसी छोटी-छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं.
Looking for perfect start? Get a Bitcoin today. Download the Unocoin app.
जब मैं तेरी उम्र का था ना, तो एक सक्सेसफुल करियर, लॉन्ग टर्म प्लानिंग सब रेडी करके रख चुका था. और एक इन महाराज को देखो, पूरा दिन फोन में लगा रहेगा.
दैट प्लानिंग तो मैंने भी कर रखी है, Unocoin के साथ.
नए जमाने के साथ नई चीजें आजमाएं. Looking for Bitcoin? Download the Unocoin app.
Work hard. This wasn't a good quarter. Tell me, are you happy with this?
Yes! Unocoin.
Want to earn Bitcoin? Just grab your phone and shake it. Download the Unocoin app.
Bitcoin.
Get a systematic buying plan from the Unocoin app to get your Bitcoin today. Download the Unocoin app.
नमस्ते डियर उनोकॉइनर्स, एक बार फिर से स्वागत है आप सबका इन अनदर एपिसोड ऑफ कॉइनवर्सेशन, जहां पर हम बात करते हैं अलग अलग एस्पेक्ट्स के बारे में जो कि क्रिप्टो करेंसी से रिलेटेड होते हैं. आज हम आपके लिए आपका फेवरेट टॉपिक जो है वो था हमारा हाउ टू प्रेडिक्ट क्रिप्टो करेंसी प्राइसेस यूजिंग टेक्निकल एनालिसिस. उसका पार्ट 2 लेकर के आए हैं हमारे वेरी ओन इन हाउस स्पीकर के साथ, सतीश अरविंद, who as you already know is a trading expert. Hi Satish, how are you doing today?
Doing great. How about you?
I am great too. Actually, I'm too excited for another one of these sessions. So guys, quick note for you all. Satish, our friend here, is speaking in English. If you have questions in Hindi or any other language, feel free to drop them out in the comment section. You know, I can translate them to Satish for you and you can get your answers like that. Also, I would really like अगर आप लोग इस पूरे एमए सेशन के दौरान थोड़ी सी engagement बना के रखें, उसके लिए सबसे पहले आपको लाइक बटन को हिट करना है ताकि हमें पता चले कि आपको हमारी ऑडियो और वीडियो अच्छे से सुनाई और दिखाई दे रही है. So, let's get started. So Satish, you know, the last time we were here, we got so many questions, and of course, technical analysis is one of the things which is actually solid proof based things on which you can rely your predictions on. And major analysts, they are pros in technical analysis. So just starting off with a basic question. So guys, एक और चीज, अगर आप लोगों ने हमारा पुराना सेशन नहीं देखा है तो आप वो भी देख सकते हैं. हमारी बैकएंड टीम आपके लिए एक लिंक डाल देगी कमेंट सेक्शन में, जैसे कि you can click on it and you can watch it later whenever you want. Now again, coming back to the question, Satish, if to start with, for example, there's someone really basic, okay, but they really want to track their cryptocurrency investments.
Right.
So how do they do it using the technical analysis part?
Cool. So I'll just slightly refresh like what we have covered last week, so that people will understand like what has been told,
Yes.
the basics, and probably what they can look for. They can go to the previous video and
Yes.
look at it. If at all they're not getting an answer, which probably might be covered in the previous one, right? So again, just to retouch, technical analysis, as you already told, it's one of the very key element to
Yes.
understand and make trade, right? So just to put in the right word, if I have to say, trading or investment or the market is all about emotions, right? So humans, greed and fear, and it's very, very difficult to quantify that, and that's where technical analysis comes into the picture. So we try to quantify the human emotions with right levels, the key levels of support and resistance, where during those levels how there will be a trigger points of human emotions, right? So these are the primary things that we majorly covered last week, like the last session. So what are all the different levels, how to identify that, the supports and resistance, right? So here probably for your question coming back, if I were to talk about very basic, right, and for beginners to understand about technical analysis or how to approach about it, probably I'll just go to a chart to give a very high level pictorial representation.
Mm-hmm.
So is my screen visible?
No, not yet. Now it is,
All right.
yes.
Cool. So probably most of the people will know this is like the price chart of Bitcoin, right? So here are a couple of things which I have shown in the below screen. One is RSI, it's Relative Strength Index, and the second one is Stochastic RSI. So these are called oscillating index or oscillators. So I don't get into the detail. Probably that's not the scope of this session. What I wanted to showcase is, so these are all oscillators, right? And if you see, it's all ups and downs, right? So it go up. So if you see, it's ranges from 0 to 100. So it goes from 0 to 100, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You can see that, right?
Yes.
And same goes for RSI. So we have, a level below, and we have a level here. So probably I can zoom out. Just a second. So if I zoom out this RSI chart, so this is like again 0 to 100, and we have 30 to 70. So this is like a major range. Below 30 is where again emotions kicks in. So this is one of the key levels, and above 70 is emotions kicks in. But if you
Okay.
see in any chart, any time frame, it goes up and down, right? So I have shown here 1 hour chart. Probably you can take any time frame, be it 4 hours, right? If you take 4 hours, the ups and downs remain the same. If you take 1 day, ups and downs, the oscillating remain the same. If you take even a month, right? Yeah. So the ups and downs remain the same. So what I'm trying to emphasize here is the market again, it's kind of very cyclical, and it moves with human emotions. So whenever the market is in bottom, there'll be a fear, and whenever the market is in top, there'll be greed, and that's the
Exactly.
oscillation that will happen, and that we can clearly see here. So from the beginner's point of view, what I wanted to say is market goes in cycles, or market oscillates to the top and bottom, or fear and greed, or here we can say the top level or bottom level, we can say it's oversold or overbought, whatever the name we can. So it goes up and down, right?
Yes.
So if you are going to be a short-term trader, be it going to trade in and out within few hours, or you're going to be a long-term trader where you come in and probably wait for a couple of years and then go out, again the same thing happens. So you have to just try to understand the market, where the market is probably not exactly at the bottom, which is very difficult, but try to see whether you can get somewhere within that bottom when the market sentiment is down, and try to come up when the sentiment is high, right? So to know that, That's the major challenge, right? So that's where these analysis comes into the picture. The couple of things which I told, the two or
Yes.
things. So that is one of the indicators where you can try to see whether it is in bottom range or top range. And if you are going to be a short-term trader, don't be so worried about losing an opportunity, because this is going to come again and again, right? So that's the beauty of
Yes.
trading. The top and bottom keeps coming up, right? And you don't need to be too greedy, and or don't need to be too fearful that you're going to miss out, because if you even miss out one time, probably you will get another opportunity. But for the long-term trader, you have to be very, very prudent, because you're going to wait for so many years or months, and you have to be, you also have so much of time for that, to capture that. It's not like you don't need to capture the exact top or exact bottom. You have ample time. Try to make a rational decision, right? So that's all about technical analysis in a nutshell. Try to understand where the try to buy it at a lower price and sell it at a higher price, which might sound very simple but hard to actually
I
execute.
can imagine. I can imagine. I mean, from personal experience, of course, Satish, you would know a lot more in these aspects than any layman would. So let's have a quick look at what is going on in our comment sections right now. Yashwant Singh from LinkedIn is saying greetings from Yashwant Singh. Hi Yashwant, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है हमारा आपका आज के हमारे इस सेशन में एंड आई होप आपको मजा आ रहा होगा. आपके अगर कोई भी क्वेश्चंस है आज के टॉपिक से रिलेटेड सो यू लव टू नो एंड सतीश वुड लव टू आंसर ऑफ कोर्स. सो the second question is very interesting, and we get it quite often in our comment section. Vikas Digital from YouTube here is asking, Bitcoin ka price kab upar jayega? When will the Bitcoin
Okay.
price go up?
See, again, it all depends on time frame, right? So whether it's a short-term time frame, he wants the price to go out in next 15 minutes to 30 minutes, or he's looking for having a good chunk of money put up in now and wait for 1 year or 2 year, right? So if it is short term, definitely it's very hard to tell. But if it is long term, probably as a cycle theory, a lot of theory says like we have halving coming up in next few months in April. So it's called as 2024 should be a halving year, which will be pretty good, and the following year 2025 historically should be a good, very good year, right? So coming back to again his question, like the last 2 years was kind of depressing, and going by the cycle theory, 4 year cycle theory, the worst part is behind us, and we have the better part in front of us. If it is short term, probably it's up to you to get the answer of yourself.
Absolutely. So, Satish, a follow-up question. So, recently we have been coming across news like big names in our industry. Okay, Arthur Hayes, Kathy Wood. These people have been predicting, say, a benchmark for the price of Bitcoin that might happen in the coming few months, years, like that. So, there was this one interesting theory by one of the analysts who mentioned that the price is going to touch thousand what is that $100,000 by the end of 2024. There was another theory by Arthur Hayes who said that the Bitcoin bull run is already in progress. The market is yet to react. So obviously those are the words they say, and since they have got this influential powers, they do influence the emotional side of the things. But what does your technical analysis see on that part?
Right. See, one advice or one thumb rule which I wanted to give is, or we used to emphasize a lot, right? DYOR, do your own research, right? So these things can be added as a, kind of a check notes, like to add more, straw weightage to your evidence. Let's say you, based on your research, your analysis, like you have, say, 120K in, next bull run. So you can add, let's say, author Hayes, as he has also kind of added to it. The river should not be an issue, the actual fact. What I mean is, it should not be like, okay, since he says that, I'm going to get in. That should not be the case. So, because even in last year, like the last bull run during 2021, there are a lot of market names called 150K, 200K, 250K, and now going by hindsight, we know that it topped at 69K, right? So that happens because during euphoric times, when the market is in euphoric phase, the whole mentality is going to be euphoric. That's why it's called euphoric, right? So everyone will be having a mindset that they are going to get ultra rich, and the price 69 when it been around 60,000, 50,000, the realistically seemingly target would be 100K, 200K, 300K, right? But going by your analysis, going by things, and then just probably, let's say someone like the names which you have mentioned who had the reputation, so that can add to a certain weightage to your analysis rather than not having a complete blindfolded faith and go behind it.
Yes, agreed 100%. And this happens so often, There's a, I think the most influential coin is Dogecoin and these meme coins that, a statement from Elon Musk and the price pumps and the price dumps. So it's funny how that happens, but lucky for us, doesn't happen with most of the other coins. So there is another question from Angel. Angel saw demons. Okay, nice. Great name, by the way. They're asking, isn't XRP the hot coin right now? I guess yes. What do you say?
See, it was driven by fundamental, like probably I think 2 3 weeks back we had the XRP won the lawsuit against
Yes.
SEC, right?
Yes.
And that definitely had a good momentum that has been shifted towards the whole market, not especially not excluded only to XRP. But again, there is always the macro element that prevails, a very a particular coin centric thing, because crypto is, it's a market which has a lot of external influence. Like one fundamental thing would be that lawsuit that was running for years with XRP,
Yeah.
that was turned positive. But we also have quite a few macro elements, like the inflation still not under control. It's still not reached 2% of target yet, and probably last 2 months it's been slightly increasing, and Fed is not showing any signs of pausing, or actually the pause has happened, but not showing any signs of cutting the rates. And probably they are still, yesterday General Powell has given a speech where his tone still is hawkish and not dovish. When I say hawkish, it means like they are still going to, it's not favorable for the markets,
Yes.
right? So given all the scenario, I think I would say currently the market is still not out of the woods. Be it I'm talking about XRP as well as the whole market. See, currently it's not like there'll be only one coin like XRP will go up and the rest of the market is going to go in opposite direction. That has never been the case all this while. It might take market to mature, each and every project to mature, which is like quite a few years away, I believe. So it's like overall market. If XRP has to go up or has to thrive, I think it has to pin on the whole crypto ecosystem as well, right? So currently the whole ecosystem is not out of the woods. It's kind of trying to struggle and get a U-turn, which is happening. It might take few months probably to get into a good momentum shift, but definitely the fundamentals and the community and the utility of XRP is really really impressive, and it has a ways to go.
I mean, yes. I met a couple of friends from college, and from the college side itself, I see so many kids of that age now believing, because there's a certain age group that believes in just Bitcoin. Now there's a certain age group that is believing only in XRP. Like, oh no, I invested in this and then I made a lot of money. Now that is also because of the fundamental reasons and the technical reasons, but somehow the hype is what has driven the whole craze around it. So just a little, I don't know how is that going to sound to our audience, but if there's Bitcoin and XRP, do you think XRP could be the new Bitcoin by any chance?
Yeah, and it's very difficult to say, right? So the whole industry has been just over a decade, and for past decade, I think that we have Bitcoin being undisputed king, right? So next few years, definitely, it can there's any possibility, right? It can even be a new coin which is not there now, probably next 10 to 15 years. So it need not be Ethereum or XRP or Cardano. It can be completely new one which will be disruptive, like similar to, let's say, we have Orkut for years together, and then Facebook came, and suddenly after, it's not like Twitter or the current thing which we have is, it's kind of the legacy market, right? So there are a few things that comes after that and made the complete sweep about the market, right? So it can happen. XRP definitely is a contender, so as Ethereum, so as Cardano, and as I told, probably something which is not there yet. But Bitcoin has its own set of, own set of ethos. Like there is no owner, there is no CEO. Because the simple reason why XRP got into the lawsuit is because it has a company, it has a CEO to some for the government or SEC to clean their foot on. Bitcoin is far reach from everyone because it has been with everyone.
So does that mean that Bitcoin is never going to get into any sort of legal trouble because it has literally no one to represent that in the court?
It can't, practically it can't, because that if you have to say talk about it, it's an open network where people can misuse, right? So which means there can be, if someone can be pinpointed or get into a legal scrutiny on the individual front, but not on the blockchain front.
Agreed 100%. And I think, okay, there's an important comment that I see here. Shubhajyoti Jordar here is saying somebody is using the name of Unocoin and doing fake business of earning lots of money. So, Shubhajyoti, that is the basic reason why we keep promoting the fact that whenever you're making a transaction, make sure it's from the either the mobile app or the official website. You have to be very careful because in this industry world of internet, we can't really have a control over who's creating a fake name and what, but we can obviously be careful. Obviously Unocoin is taking stance by spreading awareness around that, but the major thing comes where you guys are playing your part in being smart with what you are doing. You have to be super 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 smart. You have to just use the official website and the mobile application to make any transactions. So be super safe, and if you face any troubles with the application, just reach out to our customer support team. I'm sure they're going to be happy to help you at any hour of the day. Okay. So already you've gotten a message from our backend team. You can reach out to them if have had a little issue. Okay, so Angels or Demon here is saying, thanks for your views on XRP. Sounds positive. Perhaps Monero is going to be another important coin considering government overreach.
Okay, that's an interesting question. Like, see, Monero has always been there, for quite some time, right? So, uh, the major difference I would say is that even the pseudonymity of Bitcoin is not there. Like, transaction is not public for people to scrutinize. So definitely it has its own benefits. Even Cardano is coming up with something called Midnight, which is a private side chain. So what I see is the ecosystem is moving towards that as well. Be it Cardano, or even I think Polygon and others also might come up with some solution of the other, because there is a need for that, because there is, as the market evolves and the scope of these utility kind of get widened. So the whole ecosystem also want to get sensitive information security transferred, right? For that purpose, definitely these kind of private chains definitely helps a lot and has a good potential use case in the future. Also combined with there is also a negative side of it, where a lot of illegal stuff can happen, which again probably there will be some ways and norms like governance or something that can be come up with, which I think Cotton is working on. I'm not sure about Monero. Probably I will have a look at it. So there will be ways to do that, and definitely in the future the private chain has its own place.
Absolutely. I think this is one of the greatest factor that it promotes, but it has got its own cons. We
Right.
can't really help it. But somehow, if I sometimes just wonder what if there was just positive stuff about it, and none of the negatives, and it would be so beautiful then. But especially Indians find jugaad to do the wrong stuff through
The whole
everything.
ethos of crypto itself is become decentralized, and there won't be a governing or controlling body, right? When that is the ethos and that is the ultimate objective, it comes with certain gray
Cons,
areas,
yes.
which the technology should take care. Which is, but since it's in a kind of a nascent stage, it takes some time to kind of mature. And once I believe that that's kind of some years away, probably 2 to 5 years, and it's kind of it's all about the mainstream adoption that kicks in.
Absolutely. So, on that note, Satish, we have been watching a lot of news lately. Governments in India, the state governments, they're implementing blockchain technology for the use of various things. It could be property registration, it could be something else. And we see all across the globe this is happening, that people are now, the governments, people in authority have now started to implement and recognize the technology. Now in terms of CBDC as well, when it came in, and people were happy, like the governments are recognizing the fact that there's crypto, there's this technology. But do you think that this whole system is going, like the narrative is changing from decentralized to centralized by government coming up with such notions?
See, CBDC is kind of a different element altogether.
Yes.
Let's say if CBDC is there, it's not like it's going to replace this
Nah, yeah,
set
it's
of
obviously
ecosystem.
it's like a
So it's going to be
coexisting
plus
thing.
one or something like that, which will be an additional option for people to use. Like maybe it has a two advantage. Again, when there is a centralized authority or centralized control, there is some convenience features that add to it. So it's I think it's good that we have more options, like people who wants to have the benefit over CBDC and the public blockchain. People will go there, and people who wants it's like I don't it's fine for me. Like I don't need those the ethos that the blockchain is providing. I'm fine with CBDC. They can go with that.
Absolutely, absolutely, Satish. I think this has kind of given people an option to, maybe if they trust into governments and they can just put that trust in there. And then, of course, there's Bitcoin. But something that I've always wondered that this Satoshi Nakamoto, the original, vision, that was always to keep it away from a central authority, like, not one person governing the whole set of rules. It's the people, basically. But now we see whales, right? Now there's a lot of times, when I go through news, when I go through stuff, I see positive stuff, but there's no major change in the price because, of course, of the whale movements or the whale accumulation, things like that. So do you think this whale movement has somehow overshadowed the whole decentralization picture of the things, because it's not anymore the whole thing that is driving the market, but the whales mostly?
No, see, that's how the whole, the any technology or any industry kind for that matter is going to get matured, right? So because during the early stage when there is not much of adoption, that's why they are called early adopters, right? So
Yes.
they are early adopters for the reason because they believe that, and they kind of buy in when a lot of majority is against that or kind of skeptical
Yes.
about that, right? So definitely by nature it cannot be like from day one it's going to be equally distributed, and that whale distribution is part of the maturation, right? And as it gets matured, because as more and more people gets into the market, and of course whatever the who are the whale who has been accumulating from, let's say, 2013, 15, 17, at one point there is no point having an unrealized gain or 20,000 percentage gain or 50,000 percentage gain until he sells something and get out of it, right, and realize the profit. When that realization happens, the distribution naturally happens, all right? So I think it's a natural process of any cyclical maturation stage that's going to happen. Probably as it would probably next couple of cycles. In fact, from last to last cycle to this cycle, the number of wallet addresses holding Bitcoin has increased. Number of wallet addresses holding point on Bitcoin increased. Holding one Bitcoin, who was called as hold coiners. So those are increased. When we see that all these parameters increase, which means it is being distributed from the small accumulated whales. Those portion has been kind of distributed to other people, right? And this scenario is going to happen in coming years. So that's how the maturation happens.
Agreed. So somehow it's also necessary for the market, because these are the
Right.
people kind of who were the initial driving force and still continue to be
And
one of the
definitely
major
they
driving
are
force.
benefiting the reaping the benefits.
Reaping the benefits, I agree. I totally agree. I mean, imagine the point of time where they would have bought it for like what, $0.5. Now look at the value, even
They
in the
have a
bear
couple of
run.
challenges, right? So one is buying at 0.05 or $1 or even $100, where a lot of other people are skeptical or negative or ridiculing it, right? That is one challenge. The second one is holding those throughout these years, right?
Yes,
When people get 20%, 30%, they will have
they
that
sell
urgency
off.
or like the tendency
That
to cash out.
kujli, okay,
Yes,
let's just sell
right.
it off.
So
But no.
buying and holding it for so many years with a highly discipline. The only reason that could be if they don't have the conviction about this technology and Bitcoin in the future, it's very difficult to hold. So there are certain people who are holding it across these massive gains, just shows their commitment and their conviction towards the technology.
Yes, 100%. And I think rightly so, if they're reaping the benefits, that is very fair
It's
for them.
beneficial for whole ecosystem, right? So that's how they distribute. they get happy and they distribute it across multiple people.
Agreed,
the
and
network grows.
I think they still continue to be one of the most influential factors personally and by the market as well. That they're just kind of creating the narratives in that scenario. Okay, now coming to the technical analysis part of it, I had this question in my mind for a long time. But so when these whale movements are happening, okay, we can see, like you said, we can somehow quantify human emotions on the charts and other fundamental factors, if there are any, on the charts. But how do we quantify these whale movements or these whale influences on the chart? And how do we know?
See, we will not able to know like who is moving the market or kind of thing. So that's
Yeah, obviously not the
technical
who,
analysis,
but
yes.
if.
So in fact, we kind of not necessary like to go deep into like whether this whale is doing this or this whale is doing that. There are ways. For a simplistic reason, like Bitcoin or blockchain is so open ledger, right? So there are explorers you can go and just see. If it is Ethereum, you can go to each scan and you can see all sort of transaction that is happening, right? And same for blockchain explorer. For Cardano, we have a lot of explorers. For Solana, so every blockchain will have explorers. There you can able to see whale movement, like whether, and in fact there are a lot of automated accounts in Twitter like whale charts and all those things, which will automatically tweet
Yes.
like there is a huge whale movement.
There's a huge whale
That is to get again get an kind of additional points to put in your analysis. Irrespective of that, the charts definitely says the levels, and again those levels are very well acquainted by these big people also, because they are big because of certain reasons. One of the reasons definitely is knowledge, right? So they
Yes.
possess huge knowledge, and that's the reason they are the place, and they know how to kind of maneuver that knowledge they possess to for make gains, right? And technical analysis definitely helps them, like how it helps to us. In fact, see, the technical analysis is effective, as I told you. The technical is all about finding a levels, and in that level there will be trigger point levels, right? So when a lot of people knows that okay, this is the level where they're going to be trigger, so we'll also try to make some action on that level, which means it's
Yes.
going to get amplified. So there is already we anticipate there's going to be particular level where some emotions or action is going to be taken. And let's say across the world there will be a lot of T analysts or a lot of people who are looking at the chart, and they also know that this is the level where there's going to be some action, and they also act on that. So
Yes.
that amplifies, right? So it's all about finding the levels and having your hypothesis whether your market is going to go up or down because of ABC, and you act upon it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So on this note, okay, we have another comment but we'll take this after the break. So guys, don't go anywhere. Stay here. We'll be back in just a minute. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, so we are back once again. You were watching Conversation with Sathish Aravind and we were talking about technical analysis in crypto. जैसा कि हम लोग अभी बात कर रहे थे काफी सारी चीजों के बारे में. Technical analysis was something we discussed initially, of course, and the discussion is still continuing. But in the last 10 minutes of today's EMA episode, guys, we're going to do a quick rapid fire. So stay tuned. And I would love अगर आप भी अपने answers उसमें डालें, क्योंकि this is going to be a personal opinion answers. So obviously it's not not a financial advice, like you guys already know. And I would like to know your answers for those rapid fire questions as well. So we'll be starting that off right at 6:50. That'll go on for 10 minutes, 5 questions. So prepare yourselves. It could be anything. So yeah, just it could be about Unocoin as well. So you should open your app and learn something about what's going on. Okay. So Satish, obviously we were talking about the whole thing of how these charts work and all. So there are different obviously indicators that you guys use. The basic one, the most basic one being the support and resistance, which you have already discussed in the previous
last session, yeah.
in the previous AMA. So what are a few other basic patterns or movements that are actually very easy to understand, yet are very powerfully predicting what is going to happen?
I think a part of it has been already covered in last session. One is, there are a couple of kind of a magical indicators which I talked about in last. One is super indicator, super trend indicator, and second one is pi cycle bottom and top, right? So probably you guys can go and visit this previous video. These indicators just show buy, just bluntly shout buy and sell. So buy in this level, sell at this level, and definitely we can't blindly go with that, but that could be a very good starting point for beginners, because they know that the indicator says buy here and they can do a reverse engineering why it is saying buy. So whether my analyst is also saying buy with that, so that could be one thing, right? So apart from that, definitely the very, very basic is trying to understand the support and resistance level, and other basic, as I told, probably these two could be other the one which I shown. Probably I will just go back to the chart.
Yes.
Okay, is it visible now?
Not yet. Yeah, now it is.
All right. So the same thing which I showed earlier, right? The strength index, relative strength index, and stochastic relative strength index. So these are oscillators, right? So when the market, when these two in a sync goes high, let's say we'll come here. So this is like above this level, right? So this is the top level. So when both are in top level, which means there's a good chance that market has kind of topped already, and there's a good probability it may start going down, right? And we could able to see. So now in hindsight, we can see the past chart and we can say in high level accuracy, but it's very difficult to say at the moment of present, right? So probably we'll go again here. So let's say this is just peeped about this level, and we have again peeped about this level, which means like this could be the top, right? And same we can say for bottom as well. So this, if you see, this has come below this level, and we also have this below this level, right? So now pertaining to this, so this level could be a probable bottom, and we could able to see it, right? Probably we'll go to the current chart, the current price, right? So if you see, this is below, right? But RSI is not yet there. Probably we have still few more space to go down, and by the time this also might come down, which means both stochastic RSI as well as the RSI has been below the oversold level. So there's a good chance that the market has locally bottomed here. So probably it might happen somewhere here. We never know where the bottom could be, so it can be here or here. So by the time this RSI would be below, and both when it's below, we can expect the market has bottomed for the time being and can go up. This is one kind of a thing, right? Again, these are the two. So this clubbed with support and resistance, probably we might have a support here. So it also sitting on the support. RSI is below, stochastic RSI is below. We have moving averages can come in, right? So let's say 6 or 7 or 8 different factors that comes in says that it can be a bottom and go up. The probability is high. So as simple as that. So another thing could be very important or very useful thing is moving average. So moving average is nothing but again the average prices. So there are very, very basic like 50, 100, 200 moving averages, which gives some key levels, right? Again, talking about technically, it's all about understanding different levels, right? So if you see in this particular thing, so I've taken a 200 moving average. So this is the red line. So probably this line has a good amount of reactions, right? So once it breaches, it goes very well below, and once it breaks, it starts act as a support. So it comes here, it acts as a support, and again it comes here. So now it breached, probably might start acting as a resistance, right?
Okay.
So these are different things we can see. As I told, So all these are basics. We have 5 or 6 or 7 basic things that we can have and start working on that and slowly get more factors getting into it. As simple as that.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, Satish, when we hear the term Fibonacci series, what is that? Like, what
It's
benefit does it
again
fetch?
kind of determines the level. It's a different way, or yet another way to determine different levels, right? So let's say probably I will just put a simple marketing. So see, irrespective of the price, I will just put it here. So if we have a top and bottom, so let's say we have a top and bottom here. So once the market has reached a place and started recovering or retracing, so there are different levels we have. So these levels we don't need to bother because the indicator is given us. So 0.236382. I'm not getting into very details of how these are arrived because that is kind of technical. There are different articles are there to understand much better. But just to give a live example here, let's say see the market bottomed here or this is a low price here, and say this is the highest price here, right? So when we put this one from here to here, once it reaches here, it started retracing. So these are the different levels where it can take a support or resistance. Let's say 0.236, like 26,800 has played a, it started, showing some consolidation in this level. Once it, maybe it can start, taking support and go up. Or if it breaks the support, then there are different levels again. So in nutshell, Fibonacci series is also another tool which will give different levels so that each level plays a significant role. And we can, once the level reaches, we can see how it getting reacted, and based on that, we can kind of strategize our next move. Right?
Agreed. So, which one is your favorite method of? Okay, this one product only. Okay, there's a weird comment here. Kirod Behra is saying hi. So hi. Please share MB. MB, I didn't get you. What exactly are you asking? Because one product online booking but wrongly sent battery charger. Okay, if that is a lame question, then I would have to request you to stop. If you have any real relevant questions, then we'd be happy to answer that. Thank you. Uh, so yeah, which one is your favorite method of tracing chart, Satish?
So for me, I have 3 or 4 things. Definitely, if you could be able to see in my chart, I always have this RSI and stochastic RSI, right? And I will have my moving average and also my support and resistance lines. So just to show, probably might be overwhelming to people. Like let's say, so this is what I have. This is my charting stuff, right? So you're able to see quite a good number of lines, right? So these are the first thing which I told, the basics, like trying to identify the lines or
Yes.
the levels. So I have my levels. I have the moving averages that's sitting on here, and I also have my RSI and stochastic RSI. So these are my primary things. These 4 things you immediately grasp the trend direction stuff. And if I want to add more weightage to my hypothesis, I will add few more things. Like the more the I will see what are all the indicators that kind of aligning with the hypothesis and taking action.
Absolutely. I think it's a full package from what you've mentioned.
Right.
Stock, I think support and resistance is like the most basic because, I often keep talking about them in our YouTube videos. So, guys, there's another thing, okay? We have our YouTube channel. If you go towards it, you'll find a lot of interesting videos on different factors, different topics. So, you can absolutely go and try it out because, we keep creating this educational video, and a lot of them the content comes from Satish himself, so you can trust the expertise over there. It's very interesting at that, so absolutely. Okay, now Satish, one last question before we move on to our rapid fire.
Yeah.
Now we know, we can learn all the right things, still do a lot of mistakes. So my idea was, why not learn about some mistakes to not make them and do the right thing? What are the some most commonly made mistakes that you would advise our dear viewers to avoid?
See again, the very very common mistake is succumbing to the emotions, because it's ironical. We are trying to understand human emotions through quantifying that, right? which means like the whole trading is happens via emotions, right? By support fear and greed. So naturally we also get succumbed because that's why the market is there. So it's all about human emotions, and we also tend to act based on emotions. But just keeping the emotions aside and trying to just frame a logarithmic or logic and doing that is going to be a very difficult task. So a simple example is when market is going up, suddenly people get FOMO in, and there is a huge chance they may kind of buy in at the top. And when market is crashing down, they will be
I
like,
know so many people like
that
that,
happens. That's very common.
the 2021 bull run now. Each time I meet someone who has the least amount of knowledge regarding this, they're like, oh, even I invested in Bitcoin in 2021 and now my portfolio is 96%, 98% now. Obviously, it would be, no.
And probably when this is the time, or probably we are in the range where it's, again, not as a financial advice, it's primarily a very good time to buy or kind of start allocating or DCing in. And we also have our own product, SPP to do that,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But on hindsight, people, this is, though when the time is very apt for doing that, people will be so fearful to not enter in, and people will enter in when they're not supposed to. That's how I'm talking about the majority. I'm not talking about the smart people buying it. And
Yes.
they definitely have started accumulating right now and been doing it for quite some time.
Absolutely. I think this is the best time because people don't understand, it's very much like आप ढलते सूरज को हाथ नहीं छोड़ते. You don't bow down to the, sunset. You do it to the sunrise. And when the sun is rising, it's going to be scorching heat. You can't survive in that.
That's basically I
So,
told fighting the emotions. Like
yes.
it will be very difficult to do what the market kind of trying to emulate your emotions. So trying to enter in when there's a huge fear and try to get out when there's huge greed is going to be very difficult.
Bilkul, bilkul. And there's another thing which I would want you to answer in like a minute because we have to move on to our rapid fire. So Satish, ChatGPT came and it took the whole industry, the market by storm, and people started saying, what if these kind of technology could do the technical and the fundamental analysis for crypto and predict the price, because the human emotion factor would be cut down there. Do you think that could be
It's always
potentially a
there.
good?
See, trading boards, trading algorithm is all, it's there for quite some time, even for stock markets.
For I'm talking for layman, could they use AI for this in future?
See, again, as I told, the product is there, which is like there's some subscription fee which is already there. So maybe people who wants to just type in with ChatGPT and ask like whether it's a good time to buy. Probably it's kind of very complicated because even the trading bots or people, the professional people who build those things, it can't have high level of accuracy because it's not just logic and fundamental. There are a lot of other factors also will come in, right? So like black swan things or suddenly the news or fundamental stuff happening. But of course, that bots or that algorithmic trading also has its own benefits, right? So that is already there, which will they may probably enhance, but it's not like it's going to take over the world, and there is going to be the bot accounts that's going to become the base.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that is interesting actually because AI and crypto together, we usually, whenever we have a session with Sunny, he's very excited about these two things. So
Right.
absolutely. Now, okay, it's 6:50 already. Time for our little rapid fire quiz. So, guys, let me explain you all the rules as well so that you can also answer in the comment section. The best answers win 5,000 Shiba Inu coins for this session. Okay. Now, this is going to be very interesting. It is going to be, I'm going to give you a little hint, okay, since this is the first time we are doing it, I'm doing a little bit of cheating over here. It can be about Unocoin. It can be about your, different preferences in the cryptocurrency industry. So, get set, go. Satish, first question for you. What are the top 5 coin you would suggest for beginners?
It will be blue chips, like the top 5 coins with market cap, I would say, which without any complications: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, PNB, and Cardano.
Okay. Okay. Which is your favorite feature from Unocoin?
My favorite feature has always been SBP because, as I told, though it might be sounding very simple, it provides a lot of value and a lot of utility to the users, like by diversifying the risk, no need to time the market, making it disciplined, and giving us good returns in long run.
If you have to rank the features in 1, 2, and 3, okay, first position, second position, and the third position, what would be the top 3 features of the Unocoin platform according to you? And according to you guys as well, let us know in the comment
So
section.
the first one is, as I told, SBP. The second one being Crypto Basket. The third one, interestingly, it's my shaken one.
I think Shake and Earn would be on my top first list because you just shake and you earn free
Right.
crypto. You should definitely try this feature, guys, because I'm a big fan of this feature myself. Okay, so Satish, what are the best coins you can name, like as many as you want, to buy under 10 rupees and have a good potential for future?
Okay, so see, we have different meme coins, right? Dodge or Sheep, Peep. So all those meme, irrespectively, they're going to come under the small price coins, and we also have ADAs and Matic. All these are also coming under that, right? So probably not under 10, but in that range. But I would suggest more than price, people have to look at market cap, because price is always deceiving, because price, it depends on the circulation supply, right? So
Yes.
always go with the market cap and see whether what is the market capitalization of the project, and it has been justified with the fundamentals, and whether it has room to grow.
Okay. So, okay, next question. If any coin were to take over Bitcoin in future, which one would that be according to you?
I think I kind of had test based before. So there are good competent, chains like Ethereum. We have Cardano. Probably, I think these two are the closest one at this point of time. And as always, there's always a good probability that the future king is not yet born.
Obviously, absolutely. We can never say this. Sunny is a big time Bitcoiner, but this is something that gets him. He's like, it's an open market. If there's anything bigger and better than Bitcoin, then obviously he would believe in it. So, obviously, maybe the king is not born yet.
Probably.
Okay. Next question for you. Which one is your favorite cryptocurrency in and why?
Okay, so mine is Cardano, because of primarily few reasons. One is, the founder Charles Hoskinson. I'm kind of really admired about this person. Who is also co-founder of Ethereum. So he has a deep-rooted vision that kind of inspired me, and the approach of this whole project. It's kind of a peer-reviewed, highly rigorous and academic approach, and when I go deep into it and see, their whole design and the thought process of building this is completely different from all the other chains. So when I say that, I'm not demeaning, or I'm not kind of trying to make a maximalist about Cardano. I love a lot of other chains as well, and I believe that there's going to be multiple chains that are going to kind of interlink in the future with interoperability. That's the way it has to thrive. But Cardano has a special place for me personally.
Hmm. So, okay, let's minus Cardano, let's take XRP, Solana, Polkadot, and Matic. If you have to rank these, how would that go?
Okay, so XRP, Solana, and Matic, right? So
XRP, Matic,
Polygon
Solana.
and in which Polygon and Matic are same, one of the same.
Oh, sorry, dot,
Dot.
Polkadot.
Polkadot. Okay. See, again, everything has its own. Like Cardano has a set of highlights. Like Dot has its own set of unique features. Like it's kind of L0, where on top of it we can build a lot of blockchains. XRP is a kind of as a financial with them on as a backbone, and Solana, it has its own thing, like it's faster and cheaper and a lot of stuff. So everything has its own benefits, kind of stuff. So it's like every industry has, you'll prefer one over the other. So when they want, some industry needs speed over security, some industry is fine with moderate speed, but they need security in the system. So again, with my personal bias, I would go with Polygon, because Polygon is kind of the L2 ones for Ethereum, and it kind of gives that leverage to Ethereum.
Okay, so for the upcoming bull run, which coins would you have, like for sure and certain, in your portfolio? Name 5.
Definitely Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano and blue chips. Then I will also have VeChain, Harmony and Zilliqa in the second levels, right? The mid cap, I would say. And I have few, micro caps, which I don't want to mention because that micro it will be too risky for people to even, get
Yeah,
into it.
guys,
Yeah.
by the way, note, like I already mentioned previously, this is not any financial advice, this is just a
Right.
personal
That's
opinion.
primarily the reason why
Yeah.
I don't want to even mention about the micro caps because it might be too risky a play, right? So these are the
Yes.
few things which I have.
Okay, so Satish, if Web3 were to become future and things were to take over like that, would you miss the Internet 2.0, the current version, or would you be happy with Web3?
I'll be happy with the three because I kind of buy in that world, right? So I kind of looking forward for that, and probably I've been in the space for quite a few years, and become a passion. I look forward for that.
Okay, so name three coins that you think are going to go 100x before 2030.
I pretty sure I couldn't able to guess that for myself because if that's the case, I would have been already positioned very deep into it. Right. So I have my positions here. So as I told, blue chips we can't expect 100x because they are already
Yes, they've
called as blue chip
already.
for some reasons.
Yeah.
They can do some few x's like 5x to 10x or 20x, that, and we should be happy with that because that gives the underlying minimal risk as well. But there are certain coins again which can give 100x like probably Harmony or a simple example is just go to coin market cap, just leave first top 20 or top 30 coins, go for the next set of 50 coins and do your research. You can able to find a lot of 100x's there.
Okay, so
Probably.
Satish, nicely put it on your head. Go check out Coin Market Cap, and you can find whatever you
I mean,
need
that's
to
the
find.
mantra, right? So
Yes, DIY any day. Okay, so has there been an incident where you have bought into FOMO and lost a good amount of assets that you could have made a lot of money with?
I haven't bought into a FOMO, but I got into a greed kind of like during 2021. I kind of had sitting on a very good profits, but the greed took over me, and I thought it's gonna go even higher, and I kind of missed some opportunity on selling at the good top. Yeah, that happens, and probably I might not do the same again.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what I said, mistakes make us learn things. Okay, guys, great session. Even though I did not receive answers from you guys, I'm hoping that you would come even more prepared for our next session where we'll have another rapid fire round. And obviously, before that, have a look through things. These questions are going to be very easy, just personal opinions and what you believe about a certain thing. It was an amazing session, Satish. I hope you guys got to learn a lot from this, especially I absolutely did get to learn a lot from this. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, audience, for joining us today. It was a great session. I'll see you again next week.